Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and hit miss. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
Yeah.
40 keys in the building.
Yeah.
I love it.
An air producer in the building.
Hey, yo, producer.
There you go.
How y'all feeling this grandiose day?
Well, funny story about that. I feel good because I went to Darien Lake and I actually did something this time.
Oh,
I rode 3 rides, and my son, who is now tall enough to ride the big people rides.
Wait,
Nah,
got a question.
Mm.
Can you fit in the rides?
me, the ones I rode on, yeah.
Are
The
you too
few,
tall? Are you what?
the few,
Are you too tall for them?
yeah, for most of them, yeah. But
Did you get bumped in the head?
I know my limits. I know what I can't do, and he's not big enough for roller coaster, so that worked
Okay.
out my advantage. I just gotta lose like 20 pounds. I'll be all right for
All right, cool.
just slide like I did with when me, your dad, and all those went down. I lied about my height a couple times. I slumped down under the things so I can get on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Superman. I wasn't doing Superman because somebody already fell off of that.
I'm not touching that.
No, I used to do it all the time. I don't know what happened, but I can't do it anymore. I guess you know what it is. It didn't used to be a height limit until the person fell off of it. Then they put a height limit on it. So now I can't do it. But I that's for the best because it's that one little lap belt, and I'm not doing that. And no, I'm not chancing that one. But yeah, no, it was funny because T was a player hater. What she did was the last ride because she was trying to get him and his best friend a ride a couple of things before we finished the day. And guess where we ended up? Kittyland.
Where?
After he already did the grown-up stuff,
That's not enough. He got to go dominate the small people stuff, even though he way
Right.
too big for
He
it.
was too tall. Like they measured him and everything. I was like, dude, why are you standing up straight? No, because his man is short enough. His man is small enough to get on there.
Okay.
And I'm like, don't straighten your neck out. Keep your neck, because it wasn't like he was gonna go upside down and fall off. But I'm like, you don't know how to lie for anything, dude. Your lie game is trash. I don't know how you tell your son that though. You want to be a liar, son. Not to me, but to everybody else. Just lie. You don't want to do that. It's weird.
Wow. So, okay. All right. I think this is absolutely hilarious.
Uh-huh.
So, do you remember when we broke the news about Max Hairston on Twitter?
When you did,
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough.
No, I'm not taking any. You were right, and I want you to have all the shine.
So wait, we got a few comments here. Billy D was good. Lynn was
Code
good.
45.
Laura, what up? Nate, what up? So I was on Twitter because I've been waiting like all week long to bring this back to the show because we weren't doing the show Friday. And this dude done deleted his post on Twitter.
You saw what I said, right?
No. Oh, after the fact.
No,
yes.
you saw what I said yesterday. I think I said
No.
I said, where'd he go?
Oh yeah, he straight disappeared.
Where'd he go?
It said this post from an account that no longer exists.
Don't come for me.
The man deleted his
The
account.
whole account. Don't come for me.
Gone.
Don't come for you. Don't come for me.
Yo, I thought this. I'm like, I can't wait to bring this up, and now this dude just disappeared. He left.
Oh,
So
yeah.
For those of you that didn't see it on Twitter on our Twitter page, I as far as I know was the first to break the news about the Maxwell Hairston injury, and I reported that it was an LCL tear. Now, for those of you that aren't aware of tear grades, usually a sprain is just a slight tear, and they do that for policy and legal reasons, so to speak, right? Because if they call it a tear, then there has to be a certain process with which that injury is handled. But if they call it a sprain, the timetable expectation is shorter, and the way they have to handle that is a lot different. So,
Bill, if you ain't missing nothing, we haven't had a show since last Monday. You were there.
yeah, yeah.
You were there.
So anyway, when I broke that, the first criticism I got is there's still time to delete this from somebody. I forget, I don't even know who that was. And then there was this other guy with this, Simpsons.
It's Jimbo Jones.
There you go. And he starts, you don't have any effing sources, kick rocks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, who the hell is this? Like, I'm like, yo, do you watch the show? Like, do you even know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it blew my mind the way this dude was just going ham.
I had time that day.
Yeah, you did time that day.
Mhm.
But what was funny about it is you go to his page and it's nothing but like political opinions. And it's like, how?
I made mention of that too.
You sure did.
I made mention of that too.
So anyway, I guess I'm kind of robbed of some of the excitement of, you know, talking about that today. But I mean, look, I don't take pride in the I told you so stuff. The only reason that I ever bring any of that stuff up is to establish our own credibility, right? And to make clear, like, when we're in this studio and we're doing this show, that's how serious we take it. Like, we were the first to report that. Go look at the timeline. Ian Rappaport's report came out like 15, 20 minutes after mine. So that's not to say that it's always going to be like that for us. We get bits of information here and there, you know, and if we get something that needs to be put out, we'll put it out. But that's just to say, we not playing around with this. No. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that this is just a hobby and you know, believe half of what we say and none of what you see on the show. I mean, case in point, like, there's when you look up the information that we talk about on this show, I think it becomes very clear why we have the opinions that we have.
Right.
I think what it really boils down to for those of you know, the people watching that kind of question a lot of what we say is whether or not they're actually willing to do the research to see if that's true. Right? If it's a matter of debating what we say because what we say is not believable enough, well, then go fact check. Right? But
yeah, I don't have enough time to make this stuff up. I have enough time to research it, but I have enough time to make my own opinion, my own narratives and just pull stuff out of the sky. You know, when I come to the show, I actually was watching something, this was between now and the last show. It was a Talking Buffalo episode with Joe Marino and Jeremy White. And I thought it was really refreshing because Jeremy White, and it, you know, everybody says what they say about him, how he's negative, this, that, and third. And, you know, he said he loves doing what he does because he can be himself. He's not playing devil's advocate. Everything he says, he really believes it. And that's how he feels. He's a fan. And Joe Marino said, you guys think I'm, you know, holier than thou with this podcasting because that's a podcast. That's a good one. Yeah. But he's like, no, I'm a fan like you guys. I'm just a guy with a podcast. Yeah. He said, I love the Bills. Yeah. And Josh Allen is my favorite player, bar none. So to me, he's the best player in the league. Fine. He said, and I thought about it. I said, you know what? A lot of people, we wouldn't get a lot of flack, you know, and Joe Marino said, he said, when you become somebody, become popular, become this, that, and third, and you start to buzz, people won't come for you. But guess what? Just keep doing what you're doing because this isn't for everybody. It's like TV. Just change the channel. Because what it is, chat, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're not negative. You guys are the negative ones. Because we were told, you guys are the negative ones because we were told that that we go off on tangents. We were told that we're doing that. We're reading everybody. We told you when we first started the show, if we got a crew, if we had a chat going, we're gonna let them run the show. Yep. It ain't nothing changed. I'm not gonna flip up. Yep. So if you don't like it, I mean, that's what it is. Yeah. And Tommy, don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
So Laura says, oh no, not that one. Laura says, I'm fairly confident Aramis's confidential source is not Sean McDermott. No,
it is. You didn't know that? We're cousins.
He's my day one.
Yeah, Lynn, I appreciate that. It says he says PPP and Joe Marino are the go-to spots for anything Bills. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that too. Roy says can't fact check your supposed sources. Yeah, that's what the Jimbo Jones dude thought too. And he responded to that post like seconds after I posted it. And then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, Ian Rappaport comes out and this dude has got nothing to say. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. The only thing he did say was,
I hope it's what I think. Go ahead.
He said, it's not a tear.
Yep. This guy says tear. This source sucks. What?
It's a one word, which actually, if you know anything about the way it really works, it's a slight tear. They just call it a sprain.
Yeah. If you sprain your ankles, it's a slight tear in your tendon. That's what it is. It's always been that way. Yeah, you guys, Nate, you guys are negative. Come on. Except Spin. Spin is positive all the time.
Yo, I need a picture, bro. Said I've been looking for this channel for a week. This is where the good James Cook smoke is.
The picture is great.
Yo, this is awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, X. So I mean, we're definitely gonna get into that.
Yeah.
I spent 2.5 hours today talking to Tommy about it.
I would say, if you know one thing about me, I'm down for the cook talk.
right. So yeah, okay. So it seems like they want to get into James. What's going on, Kev? What up? Who did I say what up to? Mark C. What's going on, man? You ready for some fantasy football, bro? Who else we got in here? Thomas, what up, man? Beth, I don't think I said what's up to you. I know Keys did. Who else? Albert, what's up, man? He says, did y'all see the video of Dion saying Lamar was robbed of the MVP? Yeah.
Where's Dorothy? Where's Dorothy? Al, what are you doing? You're in the Discord. What are you doing?
Yo, Albert, you got to get in there, man. Oh, wait, no, Albert's not in there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh, no, not Albert. Alton's in there.
Alton, that's right.
Yeah, Alton's in there now, Albert. My bad.
Alton said, I'm here for the James Cook talk. We are definitely going to get there. What do you want to get to before we get to that? Do you have anything in particular? Or?
I've got a gamut. We could do Micah Parsons. We could do James Cook. We could do injuries. We could do all this stuff. Because we only have one show this week, so we gotta make it good.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So I'm actually out of town this Friday, so we're not gonna have a Friday show here. Steve, what's going on, my man?
Well, bye.
I'm taking my wife to see the Backstreet Boys in Vegas.
I got your key. I got your spotlight key. Go ahead, groove with it. Yeah,
I'm done.
Let him cook.
Good night, everybody. That's the show.
Handsome key.
Yeah. So Steve says, exercise to find out what's wrong with the Bills is to ask, if you were a team, how would you beat the Bills? I think that's too easy of a question, to be honest. But okay, so let's start with Micah Parsons, because one of the things that stuck out to me about the Micah Parsons issue with Jerry Jones is his point about the way that the Cowboys operate behind the scenes, right? They've had him in on several meetings in which he indicated he didn't expect there to be any negotiations, but somehow those negotiations worked themselves into the conversation, and he ended up having these discussions without his agent, right? And he even stated that in his letter that he kind of wrote in his trade request, right? And basically he just said, he's done with the, with meeting, with the team without his agent and all the, underhanded stuff that goes on with the Cowboys. You heard Jeremy White talk about this morning about how, the Cowboys like to try and convince players that, because they're playing for the most reputable, most well-known brand in sports in the Cowboys, that they should have this sense of honor that supersedes their need for money and all that kind of stuff. Right. So let me ask you this. What do you think the relation is between Jerry Jones and Terry Pegula? I'm going somewhere with this, but I want your opinion on
what I think the relation is between them?
Yep.
I have no idea. I want to know where you're going with this.
Okay, so I am developing this theory, and I'm little by little putting together information to fully support the point. But here's where I'm going with this. When you look at the moves that Jerry Jones makes with the Cowboys, it's about brand. Mm-hmm. It's not about winning a Super Bowl. If it was about winning a Super Bowl, he has more than enough money and more than enough attraction in the fact that his state doesn't have taxes and the fact that his brand is the most reputable, most popular brand in the sports world, and all of these other different things that he could offer players to attract them to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So if he really wanted to, he could get pretty much anybody he wanted to convince them to come there, right? But what stopped them in the past is, and a lot of guys on ESPN, NFL Network, FS1, a lot of these sports pundits have really kind of brought out over time that Jerry Jones likes a certain type of head coach. Usually that head coach is a yes man, a guy that is, not one of these head coaches that has enough juice to say no to the owner or say, if that's how you want it done, then you got to find somebody else, right? The last head coach that he had that won a Super Bowl for him was a guy in Jimmy Johnson that could say no. Why? Because he was good enough and he was winning enough with that team, excuse me, to do this kind of public battle in a city like Dallas with the owner of the team and still come out on the good side of that, kind of public war because of his success with the team, right? So how I see the Bills kind of reflecting in that manner is the same thing could be said for the Buffalo Bills when it comes to the moves that they've made. It's been about brand. Now, here's why I can say that about the Bills. When you look at what Sean McDermott has said recently that came out on Twitter, the quote of, it's about attitude, not ability. It's attitude over ability. That's specifically what he stated, right? If it's attitude over ability and you believe that you can coach the rest of it, you can coach the ability. And Sean said this in his statement. He said, if there's a player that's lacking in skills, we believe we can coach him up in that. If he's lacking attitude, though, we can't deal with that. And this was in reference to the two players that they cut from, and these weren't like prominent players, but they just cut, two young players because they didn't like their attitude, right? So when you look at moves like that, when you look at the players that they hire, who we've talked about several times, most of these players that come here are just happy to be here. Khalil Shakir even said, "I'm just happy to be here." Mm-hmm. When you look at the staff that they hire, they no longer hire. Matter of fact, Tabor is the only tenured coach that they have here, and he wasn't in the league last year, right? So when you look at the coaches that they hire, they're either young, short in the tooth, mm-hmm. or they've been away from the game and they need somewhere to come back to, right? And all of this points to it's got to be about brand and not championships. Because, again, Buffalo has Josh Allen. If Josh Allen can't attract the best players in the league to come here, there's nothing else in the world that can. He is the face of the NFL right now. I don't care if they haven't announced it yet or if they're debating about it, whatever. Josh Allen is the face of the NFL right now with everything that he's accomplished and everything he's about to accomplish this year. So when I look at the James Cook dispute and I look at the Micah Parsons dispute, they're very, very similar in one specific way. And that way is everybody in the front office is steadfast on we are not giving an inch. We have a number in mind. We know what we want to pay this player. We love him. But this is where we're staying. This is what the negotiations are, right? Jerry Jones hasn't said it in that way specifically, and Terry Pagula doesn't really get in front of a microphone anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was kind of torn, because to me it's more Jerry Jones versus Brandon B. Because Jerry Jones is that GM, and they're, so in that regard, I have not a lot to say, but that I haven't already said. But because everything you said has come out of Brandon B's mouth already. For sure. We have a number. I hate when they talk like we have this. Stop being so secret. You don't have to tell me the number. Yeah. But we know you have a number. We know when you negotiate, one person's high, one person's low. You meet somewhere in the middle. We know that. Right. And so I think, like you said, the brand of Dallas is the star on the helmet, even though they haven't won anything in years. Yep. And Buffalo's the brand is Josh Allen because it's just Josh Allen right now. The Bills haven't won anything in even longer than Dallas. So, it's not the city. It's not the new stadium. It's not the nightlife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be the wings, but anyway, it's not. It's a lot of things that other cities offer that it's not.
Yeah.
But there is one constant, and let's face it, it's probably not the philosophy or the front office, the way we coach, the innovative, the fun nature. Not saying we're a pain in the butt team. I was trying to figure out how to say it without saying the A word.
I mean, I got the button. If you
okay, I'll just. There you go. It's a lot of things that it couldn't be. So when Micah Parsons says that he's in on Josh Allen,
mm-hmm.
that tells you something. I mean, everybody gravitates towards somebody. I was wondering why. So that's why. You see when I did that? My hair. I was
wondering why you turned around. Like, what's
why
going
is it
on?
dark in here? But there we go. Okay, so it could be the ranch dressing, Lynn. I don't know. It's better. It's better elsewhere, evidently. I don't know. But yeah, no, I think you have to intrinsically want to be. And I looked where he's from. He's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So they're actually a smaller city than we are. They're a fraction of the size we are. So it's not like he's used to a big city. Dallas itself is a big city, but it's not really a big city for a 26-year-old.
Yeah.
So I think it really comes down to the play style, the money, and who am I playing with.
Right.
And we check the boxes on two of those if you want.
Yep.
I think for Jerry Jones, he's so far removed that his brand, because he built the team.
Yep.
He built it. My team is great. My team did this. My team did that. Of course, you're gonna think that, but that's how you get left in the dust.
Exactly, bro. And that's such a great point, because when you look at a supporting point for what we're saying here, in as far as the relation between the two teams, just look at what Terry Pegula's done with the Sabres. Right. I was talking to Tommy earlier, and I made the reference to the Sabres from the standpoint of hockey is vastly different from what we see in football. In football, there's only the NFL. There's no farm team. If you're out of college, you're out of college. That's it. There's nowhere else to go.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get the same level of play in the UFL and the XFL. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when you look at hockey, though, you can go to Russia. You can go. There's a bunch of places you can go to make good money playing hockey full time.
And that's where the players come from. So that's all the competition.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you look at the way the Sabres have been run, it's been the same. We have a number we like for this guy. We're not budging, or we're not getting rid of this player, even though he doesn't want to be here. Like, very, we expect players to come in and sacrifice for us and be about team and do the hard work, all that kind of stuff. The same stuff they say for the Bills, except these players got other places they can go, right? If they don't like what's going on here, trade me, right? Because what's going to happen if the team says no? Okay, well, I'll just leave and go to Russia.
Right.
I don't care.
I don't really care.
I don't need to be in the NHL, bro. I don't need to be in the NHL, bro.
Right.
I don't need to be here. You
see
need to
them
be
boys
here.
in Russia?
This is the only place you can go.
Yeah.
All the positions, all the coaching spots over there is filled up across the pond. Like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at that and I'm saying, well, man, these football players are really stuck. So it would make sense that if they draft a guy and he wants to come in here knowing that he was one of the better players on his team, and he sees some things wrong with the playbook, or he sees some things wrong that he knows aren't going to work necessarily on the field, or he thinks he could be better used in a certain way, and the coaches aren't using him in the way that best suits his skill set, he can't really say much.
Right.
Why? Because there's a lot of things the Bills can do to shut you down as a player. They can not give you opportunities. They can just cut you. That's a bad look for an NFL player if you come in as a rookie and all of a sudden you just cut, especially if you get drafted in the first 3 rounds, right? So what do you got to do? You have no choice. You have to come in and be humble and be hungry, right? Not because you want to, not because it's ingrained in your attitude, but because you understand you have no choice.
Yeah.
Right. And that's exactly the position that Jerry Jones is trying to put Micah Parsons in. You have no choice. That's why he's saying don't lose sleep over it. Because in Jerry Jones's mind, where's he going to go?
I think in his mind, we'll find another one. Nobody's above the team.
Yeah.
And that sounds eerily familiar, doesn't it? We'll just find another one.
Yep.
I mean, maybe you will find another James Cook. Maybe you will. But, I mean, for me, it's like a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Exactly.
If I have it and it's working for me in my system, because, that's when people get mixed up. No other team, they don't value him like that. But what is he doing here? The team is going to pay for him,
Yeah.
or the team that will pay for him. They know how to use him. Like Tommy, this is going to make you mad just because I have to make the point, and it's not really going to make you mad, but because I know you. But Devin Singletary, what was his value here? It was, but when he went to Dallas, they said, you know what? Or not Dallas, Houston. They said, you know what? We could use him. Bring him in. Give him some money. And then he went to New York because why? He was under Dayball.
Mm-hmm.
Dayball said, I know how he plays. I could use him. Bring him over. And they did. So it's not really what the person is across the league. It's what the person is to the person that's going to give you a paycheck.
Right.
And when fans realize that, see, I get it. People are insulating themselves, Micah Parsons, not a big deal, because Jerry Jones is trying to do damage control. Yeah. I have thoughts on James Cook as well, and it's not about the money that I have on James Cook, but it's along the same line. So we'll get into that when we talk about James Cook. But see, look at Tommy, he ain't listening already.
James Cook isn't on the same level as Parsons. Finding a good running back in the draft is very possible. Finding an elite pass rusher isn't.
I don't know about that.
You know what? I mean, the Parsons situation is what it is. I think we can jump into the Cook conversation because I want to get to this comment from Laura. She says, I just don't know if we can assume the Bills didn't meet Cook halfway. What if we started at 10 million and went up to 12.5, but Cook is the one stuck at 15? Isn't that possible?
Everything's possible because it's all conjecture. Everything is conjecture. You hear reports, you hear this, you hear that from sources. And none of it even matters, because like you said, when was it Laura that asked you who was your source on Max Hairston, and I said his knee, just because that's the only thing that really knows what's going. Max don't even know what's his knee. Yeah, unless you scope it and go in there and you really do investigative work, you don't know what's going with your own leg. You don't know what's up with your own finger. You think, but your brain doesn't tell you exactly and pinpoint what the issue is. It just tells you it could be this, could be that. Sit down, stand up. Walk it off.
So there's and we talked about this before. I actually won Tommy over with this point. I had him Google the average salary of a top 10 running back for 2025, and you know what he came up with? 13.5.
I've said that on the show.
Yes,
but you know what's funny about it? This is what sidebar. This is what drives me absolutely insane about this James Cook thing. It has nothing to do with Cook as a person. Mm-hmm. When did everybody become capologists? When did this happen? Everybody understands the cap, right? Saquon Barkley money, where? Because you realize Saquon Barkley has a $36 million guarantee contract, right? Mm-hmm. Over 2 years, $18 million. Where did James Cook ask for that? That's one.
Right.
But two, if you look at the numbers, he has 4 void years on the back end of his contract.
Oof.
4 void years.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Y'all want to do that?
No.
He on the hook for like $9 million, $10 million, 4 years after he leaves the Eagles.
Wow.
That's how they made it happen. So Saquon Barkley, but this is not even close.
He won't even be in Philly. Still making money.
Nah,
I don't want to do that.
That's what I'm saying. And it'll be over 30.
Yeah.
What are we doing? No, so now we all understand how caps work. We all understand how contracts work. I don't even understand that all the way, but I can tell you most people that talk about it have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. And
it drives me nuts because I'm not Greg Thompson, but I really look at these things. I'm kind of piecing it together. Now you asked me about NBA contract. Never mind. They got level floors, mid-level entries.
I'm the right person you want to go to.
I'm glad you know because they got luxury taxes. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. Well, so I guess the reason I'm bringing that up is to say, for last year, the average salary for a top 10 running back was 13.5, right? Mm-hmm. If you go into 2025, you're really only talking about an increase of 1.5 million, mm-hmm. which is generally the average increase in salary from year to year. It usually goes up by about $1 million every year, right? Now, here's where it gets murky for the Bills and James Cook. Because the Bills said something very, very indicative of their stance. They said, we don't want to reset the running back market, right? When you think about resetting the running back market, everybody thinks about the top tier contracts, mm-hmm. right? They think about top 10 money. Why? Because there's a lot of people like us that are saying that James Cook is a top 10 running back. But I don't think anybody's really thinking about how the Bills see James Cook when the Bills say stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They might be talking about the middle tier guys who are making anywhere between 5 and 7 million a year, right? So if James Cook was just asking for 10 guaranteed to the Bills, that might be rewriting the market that they want to be in, because they want middle tier running back money. When you hear, matter of fact, Brandon Beane was on the WGR morning show today, and he was talking about he was talking about the he said they love James Cook, and he's talking about his value. I'm losing my train of thought as I'm talking. This is ridiculous. My point in saying this is Brandon Beane has this tier that he sees James Cook at. And if the Bills number is in that range and James Cook is willing to come down from 15, but he's not going to come down to 7, well, then that doesn't really make James Cook the diva that everybody thinks he is.
See, yeah, it's starting again because, in the comments, Lynn said James Cook is not worth 13.5. You didn't say he was. You never said that. You said you didn't put a name on it.
That's the average of top 10 running backs.
You didn't put a name on it.
Right.
But that's my thing. And then we're talking, anytime he says we're not talking about actual cash, we're talking about guarantees. I know that. And the point is, his guarantee over 2 years is $36 million, $41 million for the whole contract. Saquon Barkley. James Cook guarantee contract is maybe 30 over another year or two.
Right.
It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same. So, I mean, like you just said, we're talking about, are we talking about cash? We talking about AAV? We talking about cap hit? What is the narrative?
Well, here's what the narrative should be, right? Because I think maybe you and I have been approaching this wrong, right? We've been trying to talk about this from a running back value standpoint. And I think where we are right now with people's mentality about running backs is they don't hold the same value that they used to. And that's fair. Right. For about a decade, it's been pass game, right? Now teams are starting to figure out, well, the only way to beat these teams that are built for the pass is to run down their throats. Right. So I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
It's okay. Your point is still made.
Well, the thing is, my mic was like always like.
You lost
I had to rush.
You lost your chance. Sorry, you lost your chance.
No.
Right. Don't do that, Key. Don't do that, Key.
Brother man. I ain't forget about you.
Good.
So what was I saying now?
Yeah, Junior,
Before I got
railed
paused?
the whole thing.
Yo,
I know.
Key?
So I'm trying to remember what I said after you came in. What was I saying?
You stepped yourself for that one.
You were talking about you were saying we weren't talking about one person. We're talking about running backs as a whole.
Yeah. Okay. So with the focus being on position, I think what we're losing in terms of James Cook's value to the team, because that was the other thing that Brandon Beane said, is you don't want to just look at one guy's contract in a silo, which means you don't want to just focus on one guy's contract and his value to the team. Right? Because if you do that, well, then James Cook's value is above Greg Rousseau's and Christian Benford's and Terrell Bernard's and Khalil Shakir's. Why? Because he's the only guy that made a play when it counted the most in the AFC Championship game. That's the bottom line. He's the only guy that has performed the way that he has and put up the kind of production that he has with the small snap share that he has the entire time he's been here. The entire time. Right? Khalil Shakir went from 45 receptions or whatever it was. He shot up another... he had 100. He went up to 100. I'm sorry, targets. I mean, not receptions. He went up to 100 targets last year and put up 800 yards. Right. So what did that mean in the playoffs though? It didn't mean anything. Like, what did we see him do in the play? We didn't see him do anything. What did Greg Rousseau do in the playoffs? We didn't see him do anything. What did Christian Benford defend in the AFC Championship? He got hurt. I don't care. But what was he doing before that? Right. We saw James Cook make plays. What I think we're missing here is the player's value to the team. You've said this before explicitly, but what I want to caution people on getting hung up on the position, right? I was talking to Tommy earlier, and I brought this point up too. If position is such a heavy weight on this conversation, in which it shouldn't be, then how the hell did the Patriots win all those championships? Right? Because people are going to point to them and say, well, they did it without a running back. Yeah, but they had a number one receiver. His name was Rob Gronkowski. You know who the number two receiver was for the most part? If it wasn't Wes Welker, it was Julian Edelman. right? So they did have their 1 and their 2. They had their primary weapons that were dominant that couldn't be stopped. It just looked a little different from how everybody else did it. Same thing with the Chiefs. Their number 1 receiver was never Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was always the number 2. It was Travis Kelce.
Mhm.
That's their number 1. That's the dominant guy. Yeah, they did it without a dominant running back. They did it almost the same way that the Patriots did it for years, right? So instead of getting so hung up on trying to bash the idea of a number 1 receiver, trying to bash the idea of an RB1, trying to bash the idea that these top tier players in whatever position are divas if they don't want to take team friendly deals, let's just take a step back and focus on what's this player's impact in this offense.
Yep.
What has he done for us lately? Well, James Cook for us lately put up 16 touchdowns on a 40% snap share.
Mm-hmm.
40.
Yeah, I mean, who didn't see this coming? I mean, people thought he really wasn't going. He was going to just participate the whole time. Did people really think he was just going to just kumbaya this
The
thing?
Holden?
Yeah. Did people think he was going to actually like not do that?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. There's a lot of factors here. What did we talk about? What is your thumbnail?
The ambulance is the training camp MVP.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
He sees everybody driving like flies. I'm not getting hurt when I'm trying to get money.
Exactly.
So why did he come in? He came in because he wanted to get some reps in. He came in because he said, you know what? Let me see if they changed anything. Let me see how they're acting. Let me get the temperature of the room. He came in and then didn't guess what he did. He put stuff on tape to make him think. James still got it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a fluke. James looked fast. James looked good. Because trust me, James is out there working out. He came back to prove a point. He gave him a little leg and he's going to take it right back. And and that's what he did,
Right.
But his business response to me is one of two things. And people are making conjecture. He said business. Let's all start the rumor wheel again. Let's start the engine. Because what else did he say? Nothing.
Right.
But how do you know he doesn't have a little injury? How do you know nothing's wrong? How do you know that he's the one that pulled the plug and said, you know what? I'm not practicing. How do you know? How do you know that he didn't go in and whoever's agent is said, you know what? We're pretty close. Shut it down for a minute. We're gonna work this out. Mm-hmm. Or how do you know? We don't know. Brandon Beane has always said, I love this player. We love that guy. We like to have him here. And what did he do? What did LaShawn McCoy say they do? What did Stephon Diggs say they do?
Yep.
They get rid of you.
Yep.
How do you know there's not a deal being worked out? Micah Parsons or Trey Hendricks or McLaurin. How do you know? But all we know is that this guy came in, he said, oh, Hard Knocks, and I'm not going to practice anymore. I want to be the diva. No, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You got to let it play out. And I think we all know he wouldn't mind staying in Buffalo. We all know that he likes playing with Josh Allen. We all know that he's good. But quite frankly, I don't want him to get paid here anymore. You know why? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. And if the Bills pay him, guess what happens? As soon as he gets 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns, told you last year was a fluke. I told you it wasn't worth the money. Well, what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing here?
Right.
I don't want to hear about Saquon money no more. I don't want a comparison. I don't want my life for the next 3-4 years to be that. What did Saquon do? What did James do? We know the answer already. James is not Saquon. Let it rest.
Right.
Kill it.
Right.
Because James, there's a lot of guys out there that wish they were James Cook. There's a lot of guys out there that wish they had James Cook. And I think somebody in the Discord said, I wish he would get cut or get traded and go to Kansas City and show us what's up. Somebody said that. It wasn't none of us. It wasn't nobody on this show, but it was in the Discord.
I would just laugh, bro. I would literally just laugh. I would think it was the funniest thing in the world if James Cook went to the Chiefs and ended up winning the Super Bowl with them the following season.
Mm-hmm.
I would. I love this point from Walter. He says, you can't have it both ways. You can't beat your chest about how we're the outlier that doesn't need a wide receiver one in a league that says you need them, then talk following the league at running back when talking Cook. Mm-hmm. Bro, that is the point of
there you go.
That is the point of all points. I love that point. I absolutely love that point. It like that's it. That's it. You can't, bro. I can't even say it better than that. I can't, like, to me, that's a mic dropper.
Yeah,
that is a mic dropper, bro. Great job on that point. I look, I think when people in this town, people who are fans of the Bills, hear the front office speak, there's a level of receiving that the people do where they don't question it. You know what I mean? There's a reverence or an honor or a respect that they give these people that have these jobs that in a way puts them above reproach, right? And the only thing that would put a front office in that position is a lot of winning, right? Not necessarily championships here anyway, just a lot of winning, right? Because in most places that we've seen in NFL history, most places, if they start to win a lot of regular season games and a few a postseason games here and there, but they don't win a Super Bowl, the fans usually get tired of that after about 3 or 4 years. Then it's time for a change.
Yeah.
Right? We've gone double that. And yet we still just willingly swallow just about anything that the Bills are. That's fine. We willingly digest whatever it is that they kick out as if that's it. That's law. That's gospel, right? And what's funny about that is I come out with a report about a torn LCL and I get ridiculed, and then I also get vindicated 20 minutes later, right? And I don't need a pat on the back for that. I just need you to understand from now on, if I say something, it's because I'm educated. It's because I've done the work necessary to find out what the hell I'm talking about, right? So there's a level of credibility that I deserve based on the work that I'm putting in, right? And what happens is, regardless of the lack of postseason success that the Bills make, they can never be wrong. But I've got several instances that we can point to in the last 2 years that we've been doing this show where we've been right about the Bills, and literally just about everything we say gets questioned. I'm not expecting everybody to take what we say as gospel.
It might be the 5-year mark. Once we get 5 years,
maybe
people like these dudes might know what they're talking about.
Right. But I think what separates us from the Bills in the context of this conversation is the Bills don't tell people to go do their own research.
Right.
They tell you what they want you to believe. When we say something, go look it up.
We don't have PR people that tell us how to word stuff in order to make it sting. And Tommy's killing me here. You disagree with what?
Where does he disagree?
He's always disagreeing with me.
He disagree. He said, got to disagree to it up on top, 612.
Yeah.
Is it? What though?
What you still his dog though? You still his dog.
I know. I mean, it's not. But my thing is like, what did I say that was wrong? I didn't say James Cook holding out was a smart move. I didn't even say that I know James Cook for sure is the reason why he's holding out. I didn't say James Cook wants $13 million. I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not. So how am I wrong? I'm just telling you the other side of the coin is you don't know enough to make a decision. Yeah. People are dragging this man through a mud. He's getting counsel. He knows he's going to get paid next year. If it's here, it's here. If it's not, it's not. But the point is, if it's not smart for the Bills, then you got to go find somebody else.
Yeah. The other thing that I need people to keep in mind too, because I really haven't heard a lot of people other than Tommy might have said this earlier today, so I want to give him credit for this. In New York State, what the players get paid here is not what they actually get paid here.
Did you see Joe Alt's contract? When they broke down his bring home after taxes?
No.
Yeah, he's losing like, what was it? He was losing about half, a little over half his money. So he's at 10.2 million, and I think his contract's like 20-something million.
Right,
like that.
Right. And I think that's what we got to keep in mind when it comes to Cook's contract. So for actually, I want to keep this up because I want to answer this. For Cook's contract, if he gets 15, that's actually 7.5 that he's actually going to make. The rest of it he's paying in taxes just like we all do, right? He's not going to take home the full 15 million. So that's another contextual aspect of this situation that people miss. If you're not thinking this through fully, you're thinking, oh, he's getting all 15 of that. No, he's not going to see all 15 of that.
Never was.
Right? New York State's going to take half that.
And that's
probably more.
And that's just off as guaranteed. So 15 million is guaranteed. You're talking about, let's be real. People say 8-9 million. That's 4.5 mil.
Exactly. All because of where he's playing and where he's forced to reside for his job. Right. And Do we think about this kind of stuff? No, we just hear a number and we hear the team's reaction to the number, and we assume or we decide because of the influence that that's not desirable for us.
Hot take.
Go ahead.
Do I blame Brandon Beane for all this?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Whoa!
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because you got to think about it. He's doing the job. His job is to sign people.
Yeah.
James Cook's job is to say, yes, I'll agree to do my job for this wage. And social media comes out. You know, you got all these, everything is made public. You got the internet who shows you how much everybody makes on Spot Track over the cap. But you can play around all you want. And Jeremy White's, Mia Ramos, Mookie Hawkins, whoever talks to Brandon Beane, ask these questions based on stuff that's on the internet, based on stuff they heard. So of course he has to say in terms. So I get why he says we have a number. I'm just tired of hearing him say we have a number.
Right.
But nobody's done anything wrong here. Nobody's done anything wrong. If you have a job that you can negotiate your wage, think about it being public. Think about it being important enough that everybody wants to know. Everybody's in your business. Think about the fact that everybody knows how much you make and they know what you got. They know you can get robbed because you're somewhere else. Think about that. This is such an invasion of privacy. It's not even. It's like
you're right,
it's
bro.
Crazy. We're talking. We're
all in the man's pocket,
dude.
right now.
50 minutes in show, we just exposed everything this man's got. We know his FICA score. We know his freaking. We know everything. And it's like, okay, okay. So Cook is closer to McCaffrey than Henry and Burks. Sure.
Yeah.
But even being that as it is, I still have not given you a figure.
Right.
Because I'm using James Cook because he's who we're talking about. He's the person that fits the position, not even running back, the actual figure that we're talking about now. Like Brandon Beane said, I've been here 9 years. I ain't never had nobody deal with a contract like this before.
Yeah.
It's not even about, he didn't say I hate James Cook. He didn't say we trying to get him on the first thing smoking about. He didn't even give you the Stephon Diggs treatment. He just said, and I quote, I'm disappointed. It's kind of annoying.
Yep.
But we love James. Fine. That's as much credit as Brandon Beane's gonna get. It hurt my heart, my nose bled, my eyes started to water a little bit when I had to do that. But no, I mean but Tommy, what decision are we talking about? He says it's not a wise decision to hold out. I don't know the makings of it all. We're fans. We don't know the tactics.
Yeah.
We don't know the tactics. They're all tactics.
Nico, to answer your question, I think on this show we've said somewhere between 10 and 12 million. I think my value I put on Cook would be right at about 11 million. Well, I would say 13, but 11 guaranteed, and just do 2 million in incentives.
I would even go lower. I go 13 and a half, and I do 9.5 guaranteed.
There you go. That's not like I'm fine with that. Yeah. I'm totally fine with 13.9 guaranteed. Let's do it. Sign the deal.
It.
Right
away.
What I really think is going on now, and I think it's Tom Pelissero that reported that the two sides are not that far apart. I think it really is the Bills are trying to offer him middle tier money, and he's trying to go just a little bit above that. Just give me 9 guaranteed instead of that 7 that you're talking about, and then we got a deal. And the Bills are like, no, we don't want to reset the market like that. Based on what I've heard being said, and based on what I'm seeing, it seems like that's the most plausible situation that we're in right now, where it's about a $2 million difference, and it's not actually top 10 money guaranteed, but it may be top 10 money in name only. You know what I'm saying?
I think you should write that, Tommy.
Tommy says I was actually thinking about writing an article about this, but just decided to talk about it.
I love you, Tommy. I love you, Tommy.
Oh my gosh! Listen, I'm not going to comment on that. I'll just So we have Roy saying highest tax bracket for New York State is 10.9%, not 50. Bruh.
Yeah, you got to think they pay jock taxes too. They get hit way harder than we do.
Exactly. Thank you.
And Shadas, I mean, okay. You got a point, I suppose. But the thing is, we're not them. They're not us. And I don't pretend to know what it's like to be a pro player. I don't pretend to know what they go through. I don't pretend to critique being on the plane, 4 days out of the week or whatever it can be, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to practice 3-4 hours and then go to watch film, then go to practice and go to, all this other stuff. I don't pretend to even know what goes into it. So do they get paid a lot? Yes, they get paid a whole hell of a lot. But the thing is, when it's a market, it's a market. Think about it like this. If you, I'll put it like this. You make $40,000, not insulting you at all. Trust me.
Mhm.
But my point is, that's what most people make, right? 40 to 65,000.
Mhm.
You do a job, you make 40,000. Somebody that does what you do, maybe slightly better, makes 70,000.
Mhm.
Are you not gonna be pissed off that you're not making 60? It's the same thing. Just because they make $1 million doesn't make it any different.
Here's the other part too that I think gets missed with athletes is until they retire from the sport, their job is not done. When we clock out and we go home, that's it. We don't have any responsibilities until we go back to the job the next day. For them, what they eat, how they rest, what they do with their body, stretching, they got if they're dealing with an injury, they're in PT appointments, the strength and conditioning, it's around the clock for these guys. It's a major sacrifice, and it doesn't stop. Mm-hmm. They get a month off, one month off from the season. That's it. From being in Buffalo, they're training. Right. Right. Great point. Mm-hmm. Because even when they're out of town, they're still, running routes, and they're still doing drills, and they're still doing all these things to keep their body in shape so that when they come back to camp, they're that much better the following season. Yeah. So this is a nonstop thing for these guys. It's not they're so spoiled. They're actually sacrificing more than most people are willing to sacrifice, which is why most people don't make the league. But you know what's funny? I forgot to tell you. I went to Tops earlier. Yeah. Guess who noticed me? Who? Nobody. We got 866 people, and none of them know me. Nobody? None of them. Nobody. No autograph sign. I got through the line. People looked at me funny. I walked out. Ask one of the players, can they do that? Yeah, that's true. They can't go anywhere. They can't do it. Really do start laughing. But it's true. I mean, think about it. Like, you're talking about, Eminem had a line. He said, I can't even go out and eat with my daughter with you freaks coming up and you ask me. This is what they do. And they got a grin and bear it. You can't get their bag. I'm at work. I see them trying to pull their bags off the conveyor so they can go home. Guess what? They get swamped. I can have an autograph. Can I have this? Can I have a picture? These dudes would be dog-ish tired. Yep. But they gotta do all this because of brand. Yep. They're representing a team. And guess what? If people start hating you, people start hating the team until you're off of it. And they know this stuff. That's why they got to go to Wegmans and all these other places and make appearances. Not because they want to, because they have to. They don't get paid for that stuff. There's no overtime. It's a salary. You might get a Gillette contract or something like that. But that's it. And how many players in the league have those? How many players in the league have those? If you're not in Buffalo, you see West Her all the time. How many commercials you seen Deion Dawkins in nationwide? All the time. So add new players all the time. That's the thing. It's like, okay, so they're making a lot of money, but why is it that nobody gets mad besides me about NILs in college? What college kids need Travis Hunter? He about to lose everything because he got too much money and he spent it all foolishly. Deion Sanders, whose son played for him, had a smart truck, a Rolls Royce truck, and something else, a Tesla. When he was still in school, guess where he was driving it? Nowhere, because he wasn't going to school on campus. But nobody says nothing about them giving give them more. But when it comes to a pro athlete who has to do stuff differently, it's a problem. Yeah, you shouldn't get paid this. You shouldn't get paid that. Why are we in these men's pockets? They don't give a damn about me. They don't give a damn about you. They give a damn about their money, their brand, their team, to a degree, because they know what feeds them. Mm-hmm. So why are we in their pockets? That's for them to figure out. This is the part that gets me here. What's going on, White Towns King? We ain't really seen you that frequently lately. We ain't seen nobody. You only did one show in the I keep saying it's also very, very true. I'm so mad. No. It says, are you willing to lose the whole interior O-line for James Cook? I'm not. I think the question is valid only because of the way that the Bills do business. And what I mean is, if you had a team that could draft young starters and that would actually give them the opportunity to come in and fail, then you could easily pay Cook, because Connor McGovern's in the last year of his contract. David Edwards is in the last year of his contract, right? And you actually didn't have to have those guys on the cap. You could have traded Connor McGovern last year and been fine cap-wise and just started as Van Brandt, right? That was your solution right there. Instead, you're going to make this guy wait all of this season and then come in and compete next season for a starting job.
Yeah, like Anderson, Van Brandt. Yeah,
right.
You got guys there.
You know what I'm saying? On top of that, this idea that you have your, because Brandon Bean was saying this earlier, you got you paid your bookends, you know what I'm saying, and there's not enough money to go around. You can't pay everybody. The only reason you extended Deion Dawkins was so that you can get under the cap, so that you can have enough space to pay Josh Allen.
Yep.
That's the only reason you extended, not because he earned it, not because his play dictated it. You did it for cap reasons to free up money, right? So that should not be held as an achievement for Deion Dawkins, right? For Spencer Brown, very athletic right tackle, but I have not seen the man be dominant without dealing with some sort of back injury or something like that keeps him out for a few games a season. So is he worth the contract that he's gotten?
If healthy,
if healthy, yeah, but he's dealing with a tweak back now that they're keeping him out for. So
he went back for the first time today,
right? Yeah. So for me, it's like I got to be careful with that guy. And then, by the way, I'm paying Joey Bosa $15 million to come in here, and got to be careful with his whole entire body, not just his back.
Yes, I think that's the gotcha. White-Town Kings. It's not about the interior line; it's about the moves that make this question valid.
Exactly.
The moves that they've done to make the question valid. And I keep going back to a certain number 40 who started the snowball. You know, the Stephon Diggs extension. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this, and I got a driver like Lincoln. No, I don't have that. But no, I can tell you when it comes to David Edwards and Connor McGovern, that's when you start your pipeline. I mean, if you got Cromer, you could have started a pipeline. You did start a pipeline, and we're not even talking about the other two. What about Osiris Torrance? People are saying that when he comes up, it might be $20 million for him. It might be $20 million just on the strength of him. Now, you can't afford to pay him Connor McGovern and David Edwards. Do you really want David Edwards? Is he a blue chipper? That's the thing. Are they blue chippers? Bosa, 15, what was it? $12 million or whatever, 11 million guarantee, whatever it is. For what? For what? You had a Panessa. Yes, I get it. People are not high on Panessa, but you had a Panessa. You had Solomon. You're going to draft somebody, whether it was Landon Jackson or not. You run a rotation.
Yep.
Rousseau's not coming off the field. He didn't come off the field last year.
Yep.
So who's rotating that side?
Exactly.
The player.
Six players rotating at one
over
position.
There. And Rousseau's like, he looking over, who's over there? Okay, cool. All right. I know what to do this time. Right. But the thing is, like, it's the moves, Ogunjobi for what? This was the 1 year where I would have told you, whatever you do not sign.
Oh, who was that?
I don't know.
Who was that? Where is it? What
click
is
it?
That? Yeah, man, Carl. Appreciate that, bro. It says it seems this training camp that everyone is injured, but none concern me as they all seem to be bums. Oh, I'm sorry, bumps. Bumps, bruises, and soreness until Khalil Shakir came up with a high ankle sprain.
Steven like that part. Bums, that part.
So what's concerning me is this. The Khalil Shakir injury is for high ankle sprains, it's a degrading ankle injury, right? Once you get an ankle sprain, it happens more frequently after that because it weakens the ankle every time you get it, right? If you think back to last year, Khalil Shakir dealt with a high ankle injury all season long, and he didn't start to really improve until late at the end of the season, right? And then what happens? Beginning of the season, ankle injury all over again, right back at it. Why? Because now he's more susceptible to it. And this is a guy that we just paid. And what's crazy about that to me is the Bills have a training staff that knows that high ankle sprains are a degrading injury. They know this, right? Did that play a role in whether or not they gave him the bag? Doesn't seem to. They looked at his attitude. They looked at his ability, and they said, this guy's going to fight for us. This guy is happy to be here. This guy loves being a Buffalo Bill. Let's give him the bag. Great story. Cool. But what's the value of him now?
Yeah.
What's the value of him playing? Because I'm telling you what's going to happen. This is going to carry on throughout the whole entire season. This is not going to be a situation where, like, at most, and this is what Damaris told me, at most, because he dealt with one in college, real bad. He said it was the worst grade that you can get, the worst grade, high ankle sprain.
It feels like a break.
Yeah, basically. And he said once you get it that bad, the doctors will tell you it's better to just break it than it is to have that grade of a high ankle sprain. He said at longest it takes 8 weeks to heal from that. Right? Khalil Shakir was back after a week.
Yeah.
Dude's right?
A baller, man.
Right.
Dude's a baller.
Right. And I look, credit for the toughness. Credit. But the money he's getting paid for another 800-yard season? No, thank you. No, thank you.
Hey, man, watch out.
Listen, people gonna throw stuff at me. That's fine. I'm just saying, like the idea, and again, if Shakir didn't have the ankle injury and he got the contract, I'm fine with it. But when we're putting everything into context, and I'm including the conversation with James Cook, and I'm looking at why he can't get paid, hasn't had any serious injuries. Last year it was a foot. That was it. Yeah, a foot. And before that, not much, right? So if anybody on this team deserved the bag, it's James Cook. Meanwhile, you got a guy in Khalil Shakir with a degrading ankle injury gets the bag, no questions asked. Everybody's happy about it. Nobody even bats an eyelash, right? X says Bill's training staff are bad. Everyone comes back a shell of themselves, and if they receive extra time, I hope they've improved.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know what the training staff is, because you got to remember this is a brand new one. I did a lot of research.
They're not starting off well. I know that.
Well, this is the thing. And I can tell you, this is where people that are really excited about the year are gonna throw tomatoes at me. What do I blame? I blame the show. I blame Hard Knocks. Why do I blame that? Because you got to think about it. What did I point out a long time ago when we first got established that they were going to be on it? I said, how are they going to install everything fast enough in order to not show everything on the show? How are they going to be able to have those meetings that they want to have and the reps they need to have? Guess what?
Yep.
They ramped it up, because look where all the injuries happened. Injuries mostly happened before the show came in.
Yep.
And McDermott even said, what did he say? I have it here. He said, we got to get some work done and move this team forward. So he actually is ramping up practices. He's making them more intense. And look at who it is. Look who's getting hurt. All the skill players, 5 wide receivers, cornerbacks, safeties, the same similar names. Cole Bishop again. So is this going to be DeMar Hamlin starting again? I know people are like up chucking in the mouth, but guess what? Guess what happened? What did I say in the draft? Give me a freaking safety. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Get Hamlin again. Get Hamlin again. I'm the only person that can say anything, because I told you I wanted a safety.
Yep.
And Balen Spector back to the usual antics. He's hurt. You got Bosa who's getting all these rest days. And I said somewhere, I forget where I was talking, I said, man, you got a rest day on the scrimmage? On the blue and red scrimmage?
Mm-hmm.
It's a scrimmage, like it's a walkthrough. I've been in a couple of times. It's like nothing special. All they really do is individual drills. They have some 7-on-7, they got some shell, and they might do 11-on-11 real quick. But guess what? On top of that, I know injuries happen. On top of that, I know that this is nothing new. Teams go through these things. Now, are the Bills more susceptible this year than they have in years past? Yes, because of what I just stated. This show, McDermott's trying to spread everything out, and he said, I don't know how I'm going to get this done, but it's got to get done. Before the show, I don't know how this is going to work. That's the only irritating part about this. Josh Allen said, I don't really want it here because we got to do work. We got to have these meetings, these conversations. So they had them, and they're going to have them, and they're losing sleep, or they're doing something differently, or they're doing a different way of working out. So James Cook, of course, comes in Buffalo. What are they doing differently?
Yep.
All these guys that are hurt, they're getting hurt because it's different. It's not what they're used to. The team that used to have all this high-tech equipment, all these high class staff.
Yep.
What happened to that?
Yep. Supposed to have this state-of-the-art training room and all the facilities that other franchises would be jealous of. Like, they invested so much stuff in that. I remember doing a tour there, and I remember doing some I think I did some video work in the building, or I did a tour for work. Because we were the company I was working for was about to get the same camera system that they use.
Mhm.
So I remember seeing the facility. I saw a few players in there. This was during the off season when we did it. But I think I was in there again for something else. But anyway, the training facility they have in the building it's very nice. It looks state of the art. You know what I'm saying? So with all this time and energy and money that they've invested in this stuff, I want to look at the injury numbers. I went through, and
Why you do that? Roy starting. He said when Shakir got his new contract, were y'all upset by it? I don't remember either one of you being against it. Refresh my memory. Hell no, I wasn't. I still not.
right.
I was happy as a clam, and I still am.
Yeah. I think the thing that bothers us though, and the reason that we even brought that up in the first place, is the relation to all of the different reasons that people are stating why you shouldn't pay James Cook. Right? Running backs get hurt. Okay, well, your best wide receiver is hurt now, and he was hurt last year, and he played hurt, and he didn't produce like a number one wide receiver, even though everybody says he is the number one wide receiver on the team. Like, what do you want us to do with that? You know what I'm saying? To me, it's more relative to all of the the excuses, so to speak, that people bring up as to why you don't want to pay Cook. I got the numbers when you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, Lindsay said, man, make a suggestion, trade Cook and up in a couple of draft picks for Cowboys from Micah Parsons. That's the only thing that I would be okay with. All this Cook holding out.
Yeah. I would do it. Look, for as much as I want Cook to be here just to prove a point, I think having a Josh Allen-esque player on defense is the one thing this team has not had the entire time that Sean McDermott's been in office. It's the one thing that this team has hungered for, and the primary reason why they went with that ridiculous contract to Von Miller. Like that's the thing that I believe would put this defense over the top. You need that TJ Watt style player to make the rest of the defense flow in a perfect way. In the same way that you need a Josh Allen-esque player to make the offense flow no matter who's playing on it. I think that's a good deal. I would do it.
I think it's hilarious. Vu said, why you always bashing the Bills? And the next thing he says is, Cook can go, just like Diggs.
I mean, again, like I said, I want James to stay to prove a point, but as you've said before in the Discord chat, he's gone. He's not, even if he plays this season out, he's gone after. He ain't coming back. I'm sorry. I don't see a place where they start the season and then they somehow work out a deal during the season. I would be floored if that happened, because the Bills don't typically do that. They don't pay a guy during the season. It's rare, right? And then if you get to the end of the season where James Cook has all the leverage at that point, there's no way he's going to look around the league at all the money being thrown at him with all these teams that need a stud running back. And no, I'm going to take a team-friendly deal with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think earlier, I think it was Sal. I believe it was Sal said, why are we not mentioning that Brandon Beane has the hand? And I think he meant the hand, the upper hand in this whole deal. Not really. I mean, that's only if James Cook really wants to be in Buffalo. I mean, that's saying that he's not going to get another job anywhere else. That's saying he can't be a starter anywhere else.
Right.
I mean, in Buffalo, Brandon Beane does hold the cards, but that's assuming that this is the end-all, be-all. That's assuming that we're talking about DeMar Hamlin, or we're talking about give me somebody else, Dane Jackson, or Baylor Inspector, something like that. That's assuming that it's that kind of player where they're just trying to get a job. This guy is an up-and-coming running back. The nation outside of Buffalo says he's elite, and we're worried about him getting money. We're worried about him leaving our team. Just get it done is what we're saying, basically. But if they don't get it done, I don't think the RB1 is on this roster. I don't think they are. I think we have a great stable of guys behind James Cook. I think James Cook makes them better. I think they make him better because they can do things that he can't do. But the thing is, if you look at what Brandon Beane even said, when he was asked, did James Cook surprise you from his ascension from college to the pros? You caught him a sub back, and he said, you know what? Yeah, he said, but we didn't know, that James was going to be this in essence. He said we didn't know that
right,
that he could be a chess piece for Joe Brady that you don't pull out the field and the defense can't key in on what you're doing because he's out there. He can catch, he can run, he can do inside running. So we didn't know that. So in other words, you're essentially saying he's sky's the limit for this guy. We don't even know where he is yet.
He's better than what we thought.
He's better than what we thought he is. So I mean, pay him or not.
Right.
That's on you. And I'm still going to be a fan of the team. Boo, yes, I will. But he didn't make the top 10. Show me a list. He's not top 10. Anyway,
Cook.
Whatever.
Walter got another one. I'm sure it's gonna be a mic drop.
See what Mafia said? He barely cracks top 10. So barely means he is top 10.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. I mean, whether he barely cracks or right, if he's top 10, he's top 10. It's black and white. Walter says, when people say you don't pay running backs, what organizations is that motto coming from in their minds? Because it sure as hell isn't the teams in the postseason every year. Most of those teams pay running backs. As of late, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As of late, yeah. Ravens have been in there. Kyron Williams is about to get paid from the Rams. He's in there. I mean, obviously Saquon Barkley's in there. The 49ers were in the playoffs. So, or wait, no, I don't think they were in the playoffs. Were they?
No, they missed it.
Yeah, they missed the playoffs, right? But I mean, they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So I mean, was it 2 years ago?
No. What?
No, yeah, it was against the Chiefs.
2
years ago. Yeah. So the injuries. I thought this was interesting, and I think this is an objective look, right? I didn't expect to find this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fluctuation of injuries from 27 to now is roughly the same. It's weird. So 2017, they had 13 players with injury spans of more than 3 weeks, right? That was the kind of threshold, like, okay, it's got to be a serious injury if you're missing more than 3 weeks. So in 2017, they had 13 guys, 2018, 11, 2019, 8, right? 2020, when we made the AFC Championship game for the first time, 14, okay? 2021, 7, 2022, 11, 2023, 13, and then last year, back to 7, right? So 1 year we made the AFC Championship game, they had 14 guys injured, right? With injury spans of more than 3 weeks. In 2024, we only had 7 guys. Both times we made the AFC Championship game, right? So my take from this is, in a sense, the injuries are frustrating to us because we're paying these players, but and this is where it gets kind of crazy. This spits in the face of everybody that says, well, the Bills couldn't win because of injuries. The Bills got to the AFC Championship game when they had the most injuries of 3 weeks or more on the team. So it didn't really impact the team the way you thought it did. Right?
It just made sense because they were told.
Of course. And that's the point. See, this is why we do the research. I was expecting there to be some sort of tier of, because I wanted to kind of take a look at the training staff. We know Eric Ciano left, and he wasn't happy about it. He wasn't happy about being here after a while, based on some of the stuff that he said to reporters. And the Bills put out the report that they let him go, and it just didn't seem like he left on good terms, right? But the fact that over time, little by little, they've had guys from that staff just leave year after year after year. And it wasn't just the strength and conditioning staff. It was a bunch of different positions, the front office staff. The people were just leaving little by little by little, right? And my thought was, well, it does seem like the Bills have been getting injured a lot more lately. Let's see if there's a progression to it. And no, it's actually been random.
And I can tell you, I did a deep dive on this thing. As you said, Eric Ciano was the strength and conditioning coach for years, 14 years. And what he did, this is where he started. He started as our strength and conditioning guy in 2013, so 11 years. He was an assistant special teams coach 2010 to 2012. Now in Jacksonville, he's the director of strength and conditioning. He started off at Georgia Tech 2005 2010. He oversaw strength programs for all athletic teams, primarily football. Louisiana Tech before that, head strength and conditioning coach. University of Tennessee, 1997 and 1999, then 2002, 2004. He was a graduate assistant of strength and conditioning. Why do I bring this up? Because I contrast that to Will Greenberg. I don't know how old he is, but the only thing I found on him, he was the assistant strength and conditioning coach from 2017, 2023. And then he got the lead job this year. So the differences between Siano and Greenberg. Siano really believed in a team-centric training approach. So basically he would strength and condition and build his regiment that would benefit the whole team, whereas Greenberg is more player-centric. The player that gives Greenberg the most credit right now is Dalton Kincaid, and how he's brought him along in his injury, but isn't he still nursing that knee? So we still need to see how that really worked. You know, we heard when they signed Ken Dorsey, how much we love him, how much he's going to do, and we didn't do anything.
Right.
But we got Dalton Kincaid now, who's coming out with 2 injuries and says this guy is great. Greenberg has only really worked under Siano. So the firing of Siano was because Brandon Beane was not happy with the rehab process.
Yeah, the recovery. Yeah.
So what he does in essence is he gets rid of the guy that wants to do all the preventative stuff to get you from being hurt to getting you the guy that'll get you back on the field after you get hurt faster.
Right.
So what we need to do is figure out, we need to get his time. How fast do they get Shakir back on the field versus the last time? How fast do they get Kincaid on there, Spencer Brown? What can he do with Deion Walker? How is he going to play what is his snap count going to be? You know, so we need to see that stuff first before we really say, you know, we got better or we should have got rid of him.
Exactly. Because
Siano is more of a no nonsense guy. He was I guess I correct me if I'm wrong, I think Greenberg must be a younger guy because everything I found on him is, you know, he's in tune with players, he's in tune with the person, he's in tune with this and that. Whereas as Siano was an older guy, was in tune with analytics, you know, no nonsense, push that iron, move that pig. If you're familiar with CT Fletcher, probably him. But you know, I think and I've seen Billy D's pictures, so I know he knows who CT Fletcher is. But you know, I think we have to really put this on the back burner and see where this comes, because it's not fair to say, like I said earlier, if my hypothesis is correct, Hard Knocks has something to do with this. So he's already at a detriment because he's working in a situation that nobody's ever been there before. Nobody's been on TV. Nobody's had to learn and code and do extra stuff to get around the cameras.
Right.
But on top of that, now his first real job as a strength and conditioning coach, he got injured players because they're all worn out. And that's why you see how many people on the D-line, offensive line got hurt. Not really anybody. You know, you got Landon Jackson, who was already hurt with the neck. You had Deion Walker, who's got the back. You had Spencer Brown, who has the back. You have, you know, Kincaid, who was already hurt. And these are all flare-ups. So now what we got to do is we got to get them back. But at the same time, we got to figure out how to massage and get everybody, you know, in the training room and get them on the treatment and what's their treatment needed to be. I need to figure out where my office is. He's walking in on day one. I remember when Reggie Witherspoon at UB got the job, they fired whoever the coach was, Tim Cohane, I think it was. And he had his first game. You know who he had to play against at UB?
Ooh.
University of North Carolina. Ed Cota, Vince Carter, Antoine Jameson. He didn't even know who his players were. He got hired the day before. He said, I just called him by number because I don't even know who they are.
Right.
But that's what this guy's walking into, this Greenberg guy. So let's take a step off the ledge. If I can be positive for a second, take a step off the ledge and say, you know what, this guy sucks. Their strength conditions suck. It's uncharted territory. This is crazy. But 15 players is tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. Walter says, my question is, how good does Kincaid have to be this season to make him worth re-signing? Because I just don't see it. If all Kincaid amounts to is one-dimensional Mike Gesicki, I'd rather just get a wide receiver.
You better watch out before Brandon Beane season come for you. What you bitching for?
Boo, what's going on? Says Kincaid needs to be traded fast. So I like Dawson Knox better as a tight end.
He's a better tight end.
Yeah, I just do. And I think some of that is based on what I've seen Knox do after the catch. Right? Like Kincaid he's a nice finesse option if you're in a pass offense like what the Chiefs do.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kincaid would be great on the Chiefs. right? But for a team that wants to be physical, for a team that wants to be, tough and hard nosed and all that kind of stuff on offense, I think Dawson Knox is the perfect fit. And every single time this dude is touching the ball, he gets like at least one wow play per game, at least one, right? And I think if you would just give him some more opportunities, he could be what we all expected Kincaid to be coming in. And guess what? This guy has gotten better as a blocker, because that was one of the knocks on him when he came in. He's got to be better at blocking. Like we all
learn.
Right. So he's there now. Let's get him more than 2 catches a game, please.
Yeah.
Right? I think if you can do that, you don't need Kincaid. You're not running a 12 anymore. Not with what you've set as the expectation for Keon Coleman, or not with what you've set as the expectation for this everybody eats offense, because the 12 formation is not everybody eats. It's really not. It's designed to attack the seams, and that's really only 3 players on the team.
Yeah, they painted themselves in the corner again. I mean, the same thing with Kincaid as they did with Taron Johnson. Everybody's like, why don't they play base? Because Taron Johnson, they can't take him off the field.
Right.
They don't want to take him off the field. So you can't play base 4-3. You can't do anything with nickel because your best cornerback is your nickel. Regardless of what happened last year, he was, until further notice, is probably your best cornerback. Getting old.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kincaid as well. You painted yourself now. You got this number 1 draft pick, but Dawson Knox is a curious case to have, because they're telling you without telling you, we think he's better. Because if they didn't think Knox was better, they wouldn't put him on the field. They wouldn't even put a 12 out there.
Yeah.
Because it's not doing anything. Like you said, it's not conducive to what the offense is. It's not conducive to what we want to be. They just have to do it because we signed this guy for $14 million. He's on the payroll. We drafted this guy. We want to play a $14 million guy, but what do we do? If they when they took Kincaid, I was like, oh snap, Greg Olsen. I said, Greg Olsen, he's going to be a slot. I never thought he was going to a world where he's going to have his hand in the dirt. Never did. Power slot. And then they drafted Keon. I'm like, but what's he for? What was that about? But everybody they put on the team that really does anything is a slot. Yeah. Elijah Moore, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. I mean, they're all the same thing. Yeah. Just different variations of it. So they keep painting themselves into a corner. They don't go outside their own box. Right. They got to break the walls of the box down and start over.
100%. So I would say this, and this is my recommendation going forward for the Buffalo Bills. If the motto is everybody eats, and at the beginning of last year, one of the things that they talked about in training camp was every wide receiver needs to know every position, right? That was like the foundation of everybody eats. There is no number 1. The number 1 is going to know the number 5's job. The number 5 is going to run number 1 routes. Like everything is just going to be mix match, right? If that's the case, then it should be about whose skill set fits a need the most, right? I would contend that Keon Coleman would be more beneficial in the slot than he would outside. And I would also contend that Khalil Shakir's skill set would be more beneficial outside than in the slot. If you look at the way they run routes, if you look at their abilities, go look at, matter of fact, I posted this in our Discord chat. I posted the video of the kid that you've posted before doing some film review on Drake London.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And the way that the Atlanta Falcons use Drake London, right? They move him around a bunch. They give him option routes. He can change up the route based on the coverage. They showed one time where the team dropped into cover 3, and as soon as as soon as he saw the shallow defender start to back off into deep coverage, he breaks his route into a slant. It became, I think, like a 3-yard slant. And he gets the ball and gets an additional 5 yards after that. You know what I'm saying? There was an option route he ran based on the coverage where he cuts it inside and gets the ball and gets like another 13 yards on that play. Like That is Keon Coleman's skill set to a T.
Mhm.
He's an after the catch guy, as we've said on this show multiple times. And if you damn him to being stuck on the outside and making over the top catches like some sort of circus show every game, then he's not going to be what we expect a second round pick to be.
I think it's hilarious though when you think about Keon Coleman and you think about Josh Allen. Both of them are lauded for something that they really don't do.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's got a deep ball. No, he doesn't. And
Right.
Keon Coleman, no, he's not. He was never good at circus catches. He was never good at catching traffic. He was never good at high point. That's not his game.
They said that on the morning show this morning. They compared him to Anthony Richardson. I'm like, Josh don't throw the deep ball like that.
No. And that's the thing. It's like all right. We know he can.
Right.
He has see people don't, this is what happens when you don't understand the totality of a position.
Mhm.
You know, you play Madden or whatever. Throw power 97. Oh snap! Bombs away. No, because where's the accuracy? What if he's accurate but no throw power? What does that mean? They're not good. That just means they don't fit the offense. But guess what? Maybe even though on top of the fact that he can throw it, maybe you don't want to, because you think about Geno Smith at the college combine. I remember, he wouldn't run. Everybody's like, well, what does he run? He's like, I'm not running a 40. You're like, why not? He's like, because I don't want to be typecast. I know I can run.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Josh Allen doesn't throw a deep ball.
Right.
He likes playing backyard football. Obvious. He scrambles. He launches that thing a mile and hopes Shakira's down there. He launches that thing a mile and hopes Keon's down there. He launches that thing as a mile and he hopes that John Brown and all them boys down there.
Yep.
Notice I didn't say Steph Diggs because he never was a deep ball receiver.
That's right.
People don't want to admit that, but he was never a deep ball receiver.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay. What are we talking about? Why do we think and this goes back to what we said. Do your research.
Yeah.
Go on. If you got next gen stats, look at next gen stats. He's one of the worst in tight window throws. He's one of the worst in 50-50 balls. He's in the low percentile.
Mm-hmm.
This is facts. This is not me being negative, boo.
Right. It's not hating.
This is not hate. This is reality. And anybody that doesn't believe me, go look it up. You got well, I don't know what Chat GPT does, but whatever.
What you mean?
Is that like one of those dudes you ask a question that tells you the answer and all that stuff? Oh yeah, go Chat GPT it.
Oh yeah.
Go AI something. Just
Yeah,
I can't believe you're doing the AI, man.
I really don't, but
that's the wave, man.
yeah, I really don't. But I can tell you that it's easy way to find stuff if you really want to do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, me, you gotta hop on that AI stuff because
Yes, you do.
Dad's on it. Everybody on it.
I'm on it to a degree, but my one job we have one of those, and and they monitor our usage. So my director's like, so who here has not used it? And I'm like, emails. Like I get mad at T and my mom and Ken because they talking to their phone and they don't never text or they don't spell stuff. Ken's like, how you spell this? I'm like, bam. If you learn how to type, you would know how to spell.
Exactly.
Figure it out, And my mom's like, what is, and then they get mad when it doesn't hear them right. I'm like, type it. Why are we mad at it? Type it. But no, I mean, it's if you look at Keon Coleman, I looked this up and I was shocked. His yards per separation was like dead last in the slot. Believe it or not, he was like a 1 yard per separation per target. Ridiculous. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but it might be because there's nobody outside to take the heat off of him.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of stuff. So I think you should definitely invest in some manpower, some time and effort in crafting this guy somewhere, because I don't want to sit here next year and talk about him like we're doing with Kincaid right now.
Yeah.
Because you see Kincaid you see him go to, I don't know, Miami or somewhere like that. He gonna eat, because guess what? He's new to football. It's all timing. He needs somebody to say 1, 2, do-si-do. That's him. Whereas Stevie Johnson, I was watching Stevie Johnson. Did you see what I sent you, Richard Sherman? Somebody asked him like, who was the hardest person? He's like, Stevie Johnson, still giving me nightmares. I hate Stevie Johnson.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't know if I was coming or going. You're not supposed to be doing this on the football field. He said, we won. In Toronto, we won the game, and I still feel like I had a horrible game because I don't know what he was doing. And see, that's the kind of off the script stuff that Josh Allen will thrive with. Somebody that can do that. Dalton Kincaid can't do that. Keon Coleman can do that. Khalil Shakir can do that. James Cook can do that. Ty Johnson. All the guys that I'm naming are guys that have success with him because they can do off the script stuff. They know how to find a soft spot. They know how to do But Dalton Kincaid's like, okay, it said go up, run a post. I'm going to go up and run a post. Don't look back. Boom. Where's the ball? But in Buffalo, it don't work that way. The synergy is way off. And I don't want to sit here and damn this guy because he don't work here. He just does it.
Right. Vu says, question, can we get one positive show without killing my team?
Yeah,
Damn, just one.
You missed it. Anyway.
You missed a couple.
Yeah.
Really quick, shout out to Mookie Hawkins, Bills beat reporter. He tweeted Cook is on the NFL top 100 list.
Yeah, 89th.
I mean, he must be a top tier player if he's
but you see what I said though? You see what I said? The nation, not Bills fans. The nation recognizes him, not Bills fans. Right. Let that sink in.
His fellow peers and coaches and executives, because that's who the top 100. The top 100 is basically the same as the All Pro voting. It's not fans.
Tommy, what number was Devin Singletary?
Negative. Remember where you are, Boo. I mean, okay. Look, I'll put it like this: if if your significant other or a family member saw you wearing a green striped shirt with purple polka dot pants, is that stylish?
No.
In most cases, no. But if they let you walk outside and they didn't say anything about it, and then you got outside and people ridiculed the hell out of you, even though you had the utmost confidence, if you started noticing, man, it's a lot of people talking stuff about me. Hold on, what?
Terrible.
You call your mom up or you call whoever it is. What? Why you ain't tell me I look ridiculous?
Yeah, I was thinking about
you.
I was thinking about I'm gonna get you, sucker. I don't know. He was in jail. They finally let him out. And he must have been like 20 years because this movie was in like 89, 90. And this is Huggy Bear. Antonio Fargas. He comes out in the pimp suit with the goldfish in his shoes. And he doing his little strut. He doing all this. And as he goes further and further down, people start laughing at him. Look at this cat in his shoes. Look at what this man got on. Look at the colors. They clowning like he hears him. Like you see his confidence just starts to diminish. You see him after a while, his shoe breaks. One of his fish fell off. And he's like just trying his hardest. Like they demoralized this guy from the top of the stairs just to the first door, just destroyed him. So I mean that's what it is. And for people saying 89, I mean you figure 89th out of 1,696 players in the NFL, not including practice squad. That's top 5% in the league. Whew. Top 5% in the league, but be your own people though.
It be your own people. It be your own people, and that's the funniest part about all this is. Here we are talking about a Bills player that we like, that we want to get paid, that we've seen make plays for the team, and the team itself is excuse my language, shitting on its own player. Right? It's the dichotomy of what side of the argument do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the big boss side where, people like to be because everybody wants to be close to the boss. Everybody wants to have favor with the boss. Or do you want to be on the side of the little guy who's fighting to get his? Because that's literally every running back in the league right now. Their value has been so diminished over the last decade and a half. It's not even funny. And every last one of these guys are scratching and clawing to get some kind of value put back into the books for themselves. Safeties are now starting to go through the same exact thing. You can't find a safety contract that's over $13 million right now. So to be fair, I understand that there's a salary cap. I understand that each player has a certain value. I understand that you can't pay everybody, but you can pay the right people. Right. And if it's about winning a Super Bowl, if it's about getting to the goal for every 32, for all 32 teams in the NFL, then guess what? Who are the players that are going to help you get there the most? Your bookend tackles or that playmaking running back that scored points for you in an AFC championship game? Tell me which one of those guys are more valuable.
Tommy, he's still trying. Okay.
There's also 4 running backs so far that have been higher than Cook.
Yo, he's trying to
on that
right
top
now,
100 list, and they're still so what?
So okay, so there's 32 starting running backs, right? 32 starting running backs. We'll say 5th on the list, I guess, of these 32. Is that still not good enough? Like, what are we quantifying? We're not talking about money. We're not talking about anything else. What are we quantifying? Maybe your own people. See, the thing is, it's the people that we know don't like the guy. It's the people that we know already. Everybody else ain't saying nothing. But it's the people that have already demonstrated the fact we can replace him. We can do this. We can do that. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. But yeah, I'm telling you, you're right. I know
that's all we've ever said is he's top 10.
But you're telling me you disagree with what? What did I say that's disagreeable? I just said what it is.
Listen, if you're willing to admit that he's top 10, then you're willing to admit that the average salary that the top 10 running backs in the league make fits. That's just the bottom line of it. You can't have it both ways. You can't say he's not worth $15 million, which by this time next season in 2026, the average salary for a top 10 running back will be $15 million. You can't say he doesn't deserve that, but then say he's a top 10 running back. Make it make sense.
It's what they do. And that's the thing. That's my point. You know, if you're saying he's not top, if you're saying he's dog crap, go off. Oh, snap.
It's time to go.
Nah.
Start playing the music.
My Roy Ayers. That's what's crazy. What time I wake up when I'm not doing the show. But no, it's wild to me that on one hand, people that we need more talent around Josh.
Yep.
We need playmakers. We need stars. We need youth. And
it wasn't even fans that said that. Who was it? It was Brandon Beane himself. It was Sean McDermott himself that said, we need blue chippers. Right. We need playmakers. Oh, you do? Really? Because the only people you paid are the people that didn't make plays for you in the AFC Championship game. Greg Rousseau couldn't stay on his feet. Terrell Bernard didn't make a play. Christian Benford, friendly fire, out of the game. Even before that, what was he doing? Not much. Getting beat off the line by a rookie.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, Renaissance said, Keon absolutely can catch the 50-50 jump balls, back shoulder fade routes. I watched him Moss, the Seahawks defender for a tutty. I saw him do the same thing to the Jets defender for a tutty. Okay. I didn't say he can't do it. That's just not his game.
Right.
He's not great at it.
Right.
I mean, he can do it, but it's just not, that's not his calling card. And I think the Bills, they need to identify what that calling card actually is, because the guy is athletic. The guy has got what. Let me stop, because I don't want to be misconstrued as being positive.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Doesn't fit the show.
Nope.
But the bottom line is this: when you look at what they're doing with Keon Coleman, when you look at what they've done with Matt Milano, when you look at what they've done with Terrell Bernard, at face value, it looks good because these guys come in and they make plays and we all think they're good moves. But over time, we realize, Matt Milano's been hurt more times than he should be. Why? Well, it's because his body is being put to a certain strain that it has shown you it cannot handle. He doesn't have the body of a linebacker. He didn't play that in college, which is why his body can't handle it at the NFL level, right? Same thing for Terrell Bernard. He wasn't doing that in college, which is why his body can't handle it at the NFL level. There's a different demand that you have to get your body used to at the college level to even qualify to do it in the pros.
Yeah, they only played 12 games plus bowl games. So.
Right. So when it comes to Keon Coleman and what he's being asked to do, it's this mentality of attitude over ability. You think that you can just coach whatever skill you want into a player and he'll be able to do it. Right. You think you are that good that it doesn't matter what a player's talent level is. You can coach into him whatever you need him to do on the field. Really? How's that working out? Like, again, I was talking to Tommy earlier and I made this point, and I think this solves the entire argument for who to believe in contract talks and all that kind of stuff, right? Which is a team's success is commensurate with their game plan and their execution of their game plan. That's the bottom line. There is no debating that. That is probably the most black and white thing that you can say that also includes context that there is out there. What effect you have on the field is based on your plan and your execution of your plan. And if you look at what the Buffalo Bills have done, they've accomplished their plan. Now, they will say that we want championships, but based on the moves you've made, based on the players that you've traded away, based on the players that you haven't made the decision to go and trade for or sign in free agency or draft, Based on those decisions, you are getting exactly what you should be getting, which is almost, but not close enough.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to speak for you. Tommy said Matt Milano 69th in top 100 in 2023. You said, but you don't like Milano. Is that because he's always hurt?
It's because he's always hurt.
Right. That's what I figured.
That's all it is. I don't dislike when he's playing and he's playing well. He's an all-pro player. I didn't dislike or like the player, to be honest. But I was kind of weirded out because I hadn't seen very many safeties come in and play linebacker. And when the Bills did it, it's like, all right, this is a little weird when there's plenty of linebackers in the draft that actually played linebacker. Like, why do you feel you need to do that? You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you got a 6'5", a 250-pound middle linebacker that is a coverage linebacker, but you want him to be great against the run. Right. Like, what do you do? Just switch him then if that's the case. Switch him. That's the part I didn't get to about Milano. Why did you need him to be weak side? What, like, he was great against the run. He's great at shooting gaps. He's great at all that stuff. Just put him in the middle and let the big boy play weak side. That fit his skill set more. These are the things that drive me crazy and do not make sense. If it doesn't work on the field and then I question it, I'm being negative.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say Cook had one good season. Let's settle down. What?
Who?
Cook. One.
Okay, I mean,
go off, man. Go off.
1,000 yards on a 50% snap share.
1,000 yards on 50% snap share. 1,100 a year before that. His rookie year, he was averaging 5.1 a carry. He just didn't have enough carries to qualify as the best running back yards per carry in the league.
Exactly.
On his rookie year.
Exactly.
He wasn't even that far off. I think it was like what, 18 carries or something like that.
Yep. Short by not short by much. Not short by much. Back to back 1,000 yards is okay. Look,
when you're not running the ball 300 times,
exactly.
A lot better.
Oh my God! I said this in the conversation earlier. I don't understand how this is not lining up for people. If you want James Cook to put up the numbers that these other top tier running backs are getting, you've got to give him the carries to do it. You can't look at his snap share that the team controls and say that's James Cook's fault he didn't produce. If anything, the execs and the players and all the other coaches around the league who revere him as a top 10 running back know his value because of the fact that he hasn't had a huge snap share and has produced the way he's produced. How in the world can you lead the league in touchdowns? In touchdowns, the most important stat in the game, the thing that determines who wins and who loses, you look at that and you say, no, he's not top 10. He doesn't deserve the money. He led the league on a 40% snap share. His sophomore season, he had a 50% snap share. Mm-hmm. He did more with less, and you want this guy to take a friendly team discount. Why?
I'm going to cry. You got me going.
I don't understand it. I don't, and we want to make, like, we get so heavily into this. Well, he's a running back, and you don't pay running backs because they're a running back. To be honest, all that. All of that. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. Excuse my friend. It's bullshit. Because if you're looking at who's a playmaker and who's not, who else on the offense last season made a play? Give me one guy that made a play on the offense, not named Josh Allen. The only guy you better be saying is James Cook. The only guy you better be saying is James Cook. One.
Yeah. Somebody
said it in the chat earlier. We've drafted 2 stars in the entire time that Brandon Beane has been drafted. James Cook and Josh Allen. Why do we think that is? Again, a team's success is commensurate with their plan and their execution of the plan. Everything that the Bills have wanted to do, they've done so far. They've not been inhibited in drafting who they wanted to draft. They've not. Every time you hear them talk, oh, we love this guy. This year, you had a shot between the best corner in the draft, a guy who was supposed to be top 10, and Maxwell Hairston. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of tape and video that's out right now about Will Johnson killing it in Arizona, friggin' stuffing Marvin Harrison Jr. off the line, putting him in the ground.
Yeah.
The other kid, Wilson, can't get a route off on him because he's getting pressed out off the field. Zay Jones can't get off on him. None of their receivers can get off on him consistently. He's a dominant presence at corner right now. They are talking about him like he is going to snatch the CB1 job. Meanwhile, you got the Buffalo Bills saying, we didn't take him. Why? Because he's got a knee injury or a history of a knee injury on this medical report that came out right before the draft. Okay, everybody heard that and felt justified. Why? Because Max Hairston came in with no current injuries, right? Do you think it's very ironic that the guy that we didn't take, who's actually the better player, is killing it right now for another team when we had 2 chances to take him? Meanwhile, our guy that we thought was just as good is sitting there with what? A knee injury. Nobody sees the irony in that. But we think our judgment is good enough to talk about James Cook like he's not good enough to make average top 10 running back money. Somebody say something that makes sense at this point.
You said that with your chest. I applaud it. No, I'm
gonna just say this one thing real quick. Who made that comment for that to go on a rampage?
I don't know, but it was crazy.
Listen,
Tommy. That's who it was.
Listen, Tommy, bro. Play the thing. Play the thing.
Play what thing?
Which one? Stay with me now.
Oh, yeah.
Stay with me now.
Okay, Tommy. Bro, you my man, okay? I respect you. But one thing you're not gonna do is come on the show and have my pops raised me like this, all right? He don't cuss like that, but he get real technical about this real quick. So I'm gonna need you to like be aware of this real quick.
Yeah, you gotta ride home with him.
So please,
Judy gotta ride home with him.
Right. So stay with me now. I need to ride it. I'm driving, okay?
Okay.
So
you didn't stop sign wrong. It's over for you, dog.
right. So I need you to bear with me, bro. So don't do that, bro.
Stay with me now.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I think you're right, because you got to think about it. People were in here saying, he's not worth this. He's not worth. I've tried to shift off that narrative a long time ago. I purposely try not to bring up money. I purposely try not to bring up his standing in the league. All I say is what he's worth for this team. That's all I've ever said. But somehow it's other stuff. It's top 10. It's this. He's 89th in the league. How many other running backs are 89th in the top 100?
Right.
I mean, whatever. Are you going to send me 11, 12 more? No. But I didn't bring that up because it's subjective. That has nothing to do with me. What I'm saying is that we have a guy in Wimbles Drive right now. Somebody said James Cook is okay because he had 4 touchdowns. Who wants Josh Allen to rush for 15 touchdowns every year? Do you? Josh Allen about to be 30 years old. You think he really can foot 15 touchdowns every year?
Right.
Why do you want your quarterback to do that?
You're right. That's an even better question.
Like,
why do you want that?
Yeah, like, and then people say, without Josh Allen, we're a 7-win team at best. Without James Cook, we have no change. Bull. Does he contribute what Josh Allen does? No. But guess what? He makes Josh Allen better. Josh Allen makes him better. Somebody said offensive line. So without offensive line, Josh Allen can do what he does?
No.
So what is the argument? Just say what it is. You don't like the dude. You don't think he's that fine. But don't masquerade it as anything else but your own conjecture.
Right.
Just you. You don't like him. I'm good with that. The same way I didn't like Frank Gore Jr. I didn't like, well, I'm not going to say because I'm not trying to be funny, but right. I didn't like, give me another play. I don't know, but I didn't like him because I didn't like him. I didn't have to put a stat dossier together in order to tell you why I don't like this dude. I just don't like him.
Right.
I didn't like Tremaine Edmonds. Was he good? Probably. Didn't care.
He wasn't used the right way.
I didn't want Mike Edwards. I was in the show a whole year ranting about a dude that never suited up for the team.
Yeah.
Based on what? Nothing. I'm a podcaster. I'm a fan. I don't have to tell you why I don't like. It doesn't have to make sense. But don't ask me to argue something that has no merit. Nothing. It's an opinion. You can have that.
That's right.
I want you to have that. But I've heard you. And if we're going to have this conversation over and over and over, and it's not directed towards anybody in the chat, this is directed toward anybody that's watching 1,282 people. I've heard you.
Well, I would say this, and even to the 1,283 people watching now, like show us your research, because to me that's really what this comes down to. Like,
or just say, I just don't like him. I can respect. See,
right?
I can respect that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, I keep going. I like that point.
I can respect. I just because you're a fan. You're not an analyst. Well, some of you probably do analytics, but That's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
We got guys in the front office that do that. You don't. We boo for picks. You punted a football. One of the picks. This thing is hilarious, and we had a ball. But we do that because we're fans. We don't do that because we're employed by the Bills. We don't do this show because we're employed by the Bills. We're not employed by anybody. That's what makes a podcast beautiful. That's what Pat Moran and Jeremy. Well, Jeremy, you can't talk, but Joe Marino, you're not employed by anybody that's in conjunction with the Bills. You can say what you want, and you have the mic. You have that right. Anybody in the comments, you can say what you want. You have that right. Why is the show negative? Because, like I said in the beginning of the show, when we started the show, we said we're going to let you guys talk. We're going to let you talk, and we're going to listen to you. But when you keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, it's like, okay, people call us negative because we're giving you the floor. We're responding to what you want to talk about. Yeah. Somebody asked, Tommy asked a question a long time ago about Christian Wilkerson. Is he the new Duke Williams? Yeah. I honestly, either him or Jalen Virgil. Those are the two guys I think they love the most. Jalen Virgil or Christian Wilkerson. And I don't know. I think Wilkerson's like 28, so he's older. Virgil's like 24 or something like that. So he's got the age on his side. Yeah. But, it's those are the conversations we can have. We can have those in masses. And none of it's going to make any sense because we didn't research that. Right. But I didn't go to the red and blue game. I was at work. Yeah. You didn't go. We heard what you guys hear. We heard what you guys hear. And that's all. That's the gospel. That's what we got to go on. Yep. There's nothing more, nothing less. So we love the banter back and forth, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, what are you really saying? Because nobody's giving it. They're not giving rational explanations as to why this shouldn't be. Because somebody on another podcast, another city, another market saying, "Yo, I hope Buffalo f's that up because we gonna go get that dude." Yeah.
If you want proof of that, I heard. Well, I was told. This might have been a couple of days ago. And tell me if you've heard this. Tell me if you've heard anybody report this at all, right? There's been a couple of practices already where Keon Coleman has been unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable, right? He's beat every DB the Bills have had in a couple of practices already, right? But what were the most popular reports about Keon Coleman? It was he can't separate. Right. He can't get off. 9 times Christian Benford shut him down. Really? Why do you think that is?
I was just going to say that. What is the context? Like, what were they asked to do?
Exactly.
It's an offensive drill, defensive drill. All you said, Keon Coleman can't get clamped up. Maybe he's not running full speed. Maybe it's not an offensive drill. But we don't know that because they can't tell us that. But we form our own opinions based on what they're trying to let us know.
Yep. Spence says Keon also has some bad drops.
He did.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Training camp.
Exactly. Everybody has drops. Like that's not a thing that never happens. And even Justin Jefferson has them. Even bringing the kid from Cincinnati has them, Jamar Chase. So what are we saying by saying that? To be honest, Keon has got some of the best hands on the team. I mean, just based on what he showed in college and what he's done in the pros, like that's just the truth.
Yeah.
Tommy says, "Trust me, Roy ads are incoming very soon for Postponing podcast." Yeah. I did tell him that. We got to get you out of here though, right?
I was going to say, Spin
Hamler.
Well, no, Spin was right about it. He said overall, Keon Coleman has had a great camp. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. Somebody said I don't want to do a roller coaster. They don't want to call it a roller coaster, but they like pain. They like pain.
That's got to be what it is. I go off on a rant and they're like, yes, must see
TV. But yeah, no, I don't know. I just love it here, and like I might ruffle feathers in this show. You might ruffle, but I know you feel like I do. We love it here. Yeah. We're both tired dudes. We could be doing other stuff.
Tommy texted me yesterday. He was like, "You working? Like, is it a day that ends in Y?"
Like, I'm always working. But yeah, that's the thing. We definitely the Discord is popular. We like the Discord. We like when you guys holler us on social media. We do, and I think Tommy's got a show coming up right after ours, or not soon after. So I won't be texting him until later. But when he gets done with that, holler at me. You know what it is. in the Discord, same thing. I know Dorothy's gonna come at us with something.
Anything I said about Benford or the Ravens today is gonna get scruturnized.
Somehow we said it, and who gave us a super sticker?
Hey,
I'm scared.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Is it a middle finger?
It's
a super sticker. I'm scared. Don't click it. Don't click it.
It's just the name. It's just the
Okay.
name. Yeah. But thank you for that, Boo. Appreciate it.
But yeah, you know what you need though, because your rant was crazy. Your throat's got to be pursed. You got to be scratchy.
Very dry.
It's wild, man. Yeah. I mean, you said the S word like 2 times. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
I almost said the F word with
Whoa,
no beep.
I was like,
I was like, hold on.
He going crazy. But yeah, Tommy said he's gonna rant about me because we went to Darien Lake and I said I refuse to get into the water area. Y'all know I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Truth be told, I was on the swim team in grammar school. Yeah, so I can swim. Yes. And I honestly don't know why I stopped. I think my mom made me swim so much that I just didn't like it. But she made me keep doing it.
I'm more interested in what age you refuse to take your socks off at.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Never taking them socks off, man.
I have no idea.
But Key,
huh?
I told you, bro, you can get those swim socks, man. I'm trying to help a bro out, man.
I know, man. I'll just stand aside. T got me a little cabana thing. I just sat there on my phone talking to Tommy. But yeah. So at any rate, I think he's going to run out of voice. He's got to do his 2-minute wrap up. So
yeah,
he needs something to quench his thirst. He got to get right. And the only thing that's going to get you right is that Reed's tea.
Yes.
Because it's 1 part refreshing, 1 part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what you'd expect when there's only 4 ingredients. But what do I know? I don't even drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good drink there. If you don't believe me, Ray Davis said the same thing. Ask about it. What are you doing? Head over to Reed's. Get yourself a supply by the case or individual. Don't get yourself an individual. That's just blasphemy. Get yourself the case. You won't be disappointed. What do I know? See for yourself. Reed's tea. Click the link in the description below and let them know PPP sent you.
All right. I got a lot to get here, so let's put it on right now. And bought some tea. He tried it. He instantly followed us like literally less than I think 5 minutes. It was like 5 minutes. He'd already gotten outside at that point. This is at MafiaCon, right? He comes up, he buys some tea. We see him drinking it outside, and like minutes later, he's following us on Instagram, right? He loved it. Dwayne Carter came and bought some. He loved it. Like we players come up and try the stuff. Literally everybody that comes and tries the tea comes back and buys another one. Like the tea is really taking over the city. Okay. Here's further proof of that. During home games this season, Reed's Tea will have a stand right in Prohibition's parking lot. All right. We are working on having a tent location on the other side of I think that's Abbott that the stadium is on there. So basically the back side of the stadium there on Big Tree side. So I'll let you know when we get that. But for now, if you're coming to the games and you want to get yourself some Reed's Tea, if you want to drink it, just clean, you can drink it clean. It's amazing. If you want to spike it with something, it's even better. All right. But you definitely got to come check us out at the Reed's Tea tent. Again, we'll be out at Prohibition every home game this season, selling tea and just trying to bring, more of that Reed's Tea vibe. We are now the official tailgate tea of the Mafia. Right. So that label will be on the bottles as well. So definitely come check us out there. Also, the Post Podium Podcast is doing a jersey giveaway. Here's the jersey right here. Bam. It is a Taron Johnson jersey. It is signed. And you got the little official with the QR code on the bottom there. I'll make it a little bigger so you can see. The QR code is right there at the bottom. This is an officially signed jersey. That QR code will tell you when it was signed, all that kind of stuff, to let you know that it is absolutely official. So here's what you got to do for that. The next 100 subscribers that we get will be entered to win the jersey. Once a name is selected, you will have a chance to come onto the show and answer a series of trivia questions about the Bills. If you get majority of them right, jersey is yours. If you do not, we're going to select another name. They're going to be able to come on the show and answer the questions. We're going to do a little bit of, who wants to be a millionaire type of, you know what I'm saying? Do that type of deal. I think that'd be fun to do that as a jersey giveaway.
Let's make a deal.
No, for real. So with that being said, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that bell so you can get notifications when we send notifications. And I had to shorten that up because we got to skedaddle. All right. So Thank you very much to all 1,327 people watching. Make sure you check out the Basketball Truth and Knowledge podcast. That is my oldest son, our producer, Junie. That's his podcast. You can hit us up on any social media. Those links are in the video, the description of this video. With that being said, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
It's Bills week, baby. Preseason action is happening on Saturday. Bills. 40 keys. See y'all later.
There you go. Yeah.
No.
Everybody's in the building. Yeah.
All right, y'all have a great night. Peace.